Hello, everyone. So we're back doing a little magic. I'm not. Let me preface this. I'm not usually one to jump on a bandwagon. Usually, if some new card comes out and everyone's excited about it, I'm kind of like, it might
kind of
play
person
for a week.
who's like, I'm going to put this in front of the bandwagon and see if it crashes.
Yeah, more or less. So that said, there's a couple new cards. So Jeskai Ascendancy. That's the deck I'm playing, which you'll see in the top of the thing. And Treasure Cruise, which is noodles. All right, it's just absolute noodles.
It's nuts.
It is nutty. It is insanely good, and I would not be surprised if it's banned by the time this video comes out. So we're gonna try and get in as many Treasure Cruise games as possible before it's gone forever.
As possible.
So anyway, we're gonna skip the whole who goes first thing. I'm just gonna let you go first.
Yeah, because that's just how good the combo is.
Yeah. So let's see how this goes. All right, game one.
So
what will
I think
you
we
lead
start with Mox Opal.
Yep.
Ornithopter.
Yep.
Ornithopter.
Yep.
Tap. Springleaf Drum.
Yep.
Play a Memnite.
Yep.
Tap for blue.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughtcast.
Hey, it's pretty good turn one. Pretty good turn one.
Play my land.
Yep.
Cast Signal Pest.
All right.
Pass the turn.
Okay, so you put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 permanents into play on turn one.
Yeah.
Let's see what this deck can do. Well, we're gonna play a Gemstone Mine.
I think this ended up being like the best hand I could have got.
It may have been. I don't know. I mean, it depends what you play next turn, because you don't have a ton of gas in play, but that's okay.
I got a Signal Pest. You can pump these guys.
That's true. So I'll play a Hierarch and pass turn.
Dark Shores.
Mm-hmm.
Two mana for Perennial Plating.
Okay, yeah.
Put that on Signal Pest.
Mm-hmm. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 currently. 8. Sorry, 8.
So, attack.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I go to
8.
8.
If I can maths.
This dice is really weird looking. Good?
Yeah.
Okay, draw for turn. Well, Wooded Foothills. Crack it. Go to 7. Ouch.
Getting kind of low.
Getting pretty low. And
you're in
that
range
will
for a
fetch...
cranial beating.
That will fetch a... probably... Breeding Pool. Untapped. Go to 5. Okay. As per usual, no cuts.
Needs cuts.
So we'll go like so. Play a Jeskai Ascendancy. And now we see if we can go off on turn 2. I will cast the Gataxian Probe for 2 life, going to 3. So the way this works, I'll go through it once kind of nicely. So you're always going to want to loot first, and then you resolve your untapped triggers, and then you resolve the spell.
Yes.
Now, there's a bunch of ways to win, which I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull it off this turn, but we will see if that's feasible or not. So
I'm keeping track
of the storm count, yeah. And I will keep track of the
storm count and how many +1/+1.
Yes.
Or, how many untaps.
Mm-hmm.
Because they are one different, but they
That's
can be
true.
more.
Yeah, things can get nutty if you have multiple things.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, first trigger, loot. So we'll draw a card. And we will discard a card. All right, untap trigger. Then Gataxian Probe goes off. So I look at your hand, which is non-existent.
Jazz hands.
They can't see you doing jazz hands.
Jazz hands.
There you go, jazz hands. And draw a card, the most important part of this. So we'll draw.
Who needs hands?
Okay, so next up, we will add a blue and cast a Cerulean Wisps, targeting Noble Hierarch. Alright, so loot trigger, draw, discard, untap. So now, because this also untaps the creature, you can actually make a mana off of this, which is really nice.
Tap it in response to the untap trigger.
So I'm going to make myself a green mana. And then this resolves, so we'll untap him, and we'll draw a card. Alright. So we have a green floating. Let's make another green. We'll cast a Manamorphose.
Manamorphose!
So loot trigger, draw a card, discard a card, untap. Manamorphose will trigger, so we add 2 mana of any color. Let's go for... What are we going to go for? Let's go for a blue and a red.
I take that 2 away then.
Yes. So we'll turn that into blue and red. Draw a card. Alright. Okay, so... Oh, also, one other thing, little caveat here. Nobody's really experienced with this deck yet.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty new. So if I'm a little slow, or if I
like 5 times.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. If I'm a little slow, or if I make some obvious mistakes, you'll have to give me a little leeway because, yeah, it's got new deck smell still. Yeah, new deck smell.
Even though it's in like every format.
Sure. Well, not hasn't been for very long.
That's true. It's
okay,
like
so
3 weeks, 2 weeks.
So we will make a let's make a blue. We'll make a blue. Cast a Serum Visions. Loot trigger. Draw. Discard. Untap. Draw a card. Scry 2. And we will bottom both of these, I believe.
Both to the bottom.
Both to the bottom.
It's like drawing 2 cards, except it's not.
Okay. And I believe I used the mana.
Yes.
So, next we will make a blue, use the blue, cast a Sleight of Hand. So, loot trigger, draw, discard a Sylvan Caryatid, untap, and Sleight of Hand. Hand bottom.
Hand bottom. You're going to put your hand on your bottom?
Yeah. Okay. And I took the mana this time. So, blue. Serum Visions. Loot.
It's like you've already cast that
Discard.
this turn or something.
Untap.
That's probably what this deck does, though.
Do that again.
It's going to proceed to cast every card in my deck.
Pretty much.
On turn 2.
I'll leave those both on the top. Well, a turn two win is not that common.
No, it's not.
Yeah. You have to basically go off with a probe in order to do that. Okay, so we'll go for a blue.
Yeah, the ability to be free is...
We'll go for a blue, cast a Cerulean Wisps, targeting Noble Hierarch, loot, discard, untap, tap to net a mana, and I think that will be a... let's go for a white this time.
White.
A white. So then this triggers, draw a card. Okay. We will add a blue. Cast a... You don't have a hand.
No.
And I'm at 3 currently, correct?
Yes.
Gataxian Probe for 2 life. Going to 1.
Who needs life?
Yes. So loot. Draw.
Gut shot you in response.
What are we going to discard?
If you know this deck was running gut shot.
Sleight of Hand. Yes. Well, I know your hand, so.
Yeah, you know my hand.
Untap. Draw a card.
Though, as long as this takes to do the combo,
Sure.
I could go find one and sneak it.
Okay, so we're going to add a blue. Cast a treasure cruise. Exiling 7 things. Doesn't really matter what you exile, because it doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, loot. Discard. Untap. Draw 3. 1, 2, 3. What is my storm count currently?
Storm count is 10.
Storm count is 10. Okay. And then this would be a 9, 10
Yes.
currently. Okay. So
It's only 9 out of 10.
Sure.
It's not 10 out of 10.
So blue, wisps, loot, discard, untap, add a blue, untap, draw a card. And then we will do the same thing. Wisps.
I think you've cast all 4 wisps now, haven't you?
I don't know, probably. Discard. Untap. Make a white. Untap. Draw a card. We'll go for a blue. Serum Visions. Loot. Discard. Untap. Draw a card. Scry 2. Bottom. Land in a creature. You don't want creatures. You don't want lands.
creatures. See, I gotta keep track of the storm count and stuff.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I don't do anything.
Yeah, pretty much.
Minutes.
This deck is not very interactive. So if you're looking to have a nice, fun interaction with your opponent, it's probably not going to happen.
This is a solitaire deck.
Yeah, it's pretty solitaire. Okay, blue, Serum Visions, loot, discard, untap, draw a card, scry 2. Leave those both on top. Okay. So then we're going to tap for a blue and use our... let's tap for a green, actually. Let's tap for a green. Use a green and a blue to cast a Manamorphose. So, loot, discard, untap, add 2 mana. So we're going to make a red and our green back. Draw a card. It's almost like I knew both those cards were there.
Yeah, almost.
Yes. So, green, blue, Manamorphose, loot, discard, untap, add 2, like so, draw a card. Wow, really? That's kind of funny. Make a green, use a blue, Manamorphose.
Wow.
Loot, discard, untap, add a blue and add another blue, sure.
Gotta get your blues on.
Draw a card. Definitely do.
Gotta get down with the blue.
Make a blue. Exile 7 things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
We know what's coming. Treasure Cruise.
Treasure Cruise. I'll leave that there, since that's what I've been doing.
Who doesn't need a sorcery speed ancestral recall?
Loot.
In modern.
Discard. I know, it's just nuts. It's really nutty.
Sorcery speed.
Untap. Draw 3.
Which is significantly worse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, significantly, as seen here. It's just such a downside. Okay, my storm count is 18 currently?
Yes.
Okay. So...
But I mean, you would rather have ancestral recall if that was an option.
Mm-hmm. True.
You'd probably run both, let's be honest.
Okay, well, let's show off some win conditions of this deck. So, I believe I have the mana to do this without casting any more things. So, let's add a white and use a green to cast a Glittering Wish. So this is also a great part about this deck. So we'll loot, discard that, untap. So Glittering Wish, choose a multicolor card that you own from outside of the game. So actually your sideboard comes in very handy with this deck. So what we're going to do is...
We have like 4 cards on the sideboard.
Yeah, we basically, because we don't really play sideboard games, but since this needs a sideboard, like it's not a real sideboard, it's just exile cards. So we'll get a Flesh Blood.
Flesh and blood.
Flesh Blood.
Really only the blood.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you can cast Flesh too if you really want it with Manamorphose.
You can get like a Ring Claw.
So anyway,
to get
basically,
2 counters.
2 mana, target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature or player. This is now a 18-19?
Yes.
And it would be even bigger when you cast this, so.
It would be a 19.
It'd be 19.
19.
Yeah.
20.
And you're still at 20, right?
I'm still at 20.
Yeah. So this wouldn't kill you, correct?
Wouldn't kill me.
Well, it's almost like this works out perfectly to show off the other win condition. So we are going to make a green, use a red, and cast a blood. So loot, discard, untap. Blood will deal 19 damage to you.
I will go to 1.
You'll go to 1. So that's one way you can win with this deck. You can also
you
fetch
gotta
up.
make sure,
Sure.
life totals.
I mean, you could also fetch up like an Aurelia's Fury and just deal a bunch of damage if you want.
That one you need the mana though.
Well, if you have more Ascendancies and more mana dorks, it's pretty easy.
Yeah, if you have more.
Yeah.
Or both.
And then, of course, there's the tried and true method of just attacking, which I could do. But let's assume he had a blocker. So since there's a blocker, we'll just use a Grape Shot.
Grape Shot hits me for 21.
21, yeah. So that's pretty much the main ways you can win with this deck. And that was turn 2.
That was turn 2.
A lot of stuff happened. But
and that was like the best
2.
hand I could have had.
Yeah, it really was. Like, tons of damage. I almost
put
died.
You to 5 on turn 2.
Yeah.
And you just
shrugged
it off.
So broken and more broken. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, and unfortunately this deck can't run Treasure Cruise on account of its permanence.
Yeah.
It doesn't really cast
spells. You kind of have your own version with that, but it's just not as good.
This one draws 2 cards.
That's true. So yeah, the other thing, of course, is that this might not even be the best build of this because it's like one of the first ones.
Yeah, it's fairly new.
Yeah. So,
but it's redundant enough.
It is extremely redundant, and that's why it's so good. So we'll see you in game 2. Okay, game 2. So I'll show my hand this time because I don't think I actually showed it last time.
I did in an account of I just cast it all.
That's true.
I don't think I can do it this time, but
so anyway, this hand not as exciting as the last game. Actually, honestly, my hand last game was pretty bad. Like I had to go off with that
pretty
probe.
bad.
Yeah, and it corrected itself like immediately. Yeah. So we'll see what this one does.
So I'm going first.
Yep. Are you gonna dump the whole hand again?
I don't know, maybe. Springleaf Drum.
Yep.
Thoughtcast.
It's pretty good. Pretty good.
Maybe.
I mean, it's no Treasure Cruise.
No.
It's like a Bill. Remember that Pokemon card, Bill?
Oh yeah.
Just draw 2 cards.
Draw 2 cards.
Yeah.
Free.
Yeah.
Sure, go.
All right, draw. Well, that might be interesting.
For the Professor Oak, where it's like discard, draw 7.
Something like that, yeah. Foothills, crack. Going.
I wonder if
19.
Pokemon still has nutty cards.
I don't know.
Or if it's more like creature based.
It's been a long time since I played Pokemon.
Yeah, I don't think I ever seen any of the non-Generation 1 Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure I've seen multiple generations, but no Pokemon from Generation 2.
Yeah.
So I don't even know. I haven't kept up with Pokemon.
Pardon my sneeze there. So we'll get a Steam Vents untapped, going to 17.
Steam Vents.
It's getting pretty hot and steamy in here. Which is actually, it's kind of true.
I'm going to keep my clothes on.
Okay.
just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
If it gets hot enough, then Frosty can't visit.
It's not a good day to wear velvet. All right,
Arms and metal.
Use. So let's go for a sleight of hand. We'll look at our top 2.
Sleight of hand.
That one.
Slide some hands from your sleeves.
Yes.
Is that what you're doing?
Whoop. I hope that came off as awesome as it did in my head.
Maybe.
I made that sleight of hand. Go ahead. So yeah, this is definitely a slower one than last time.
See, that Thoughtseize actually slowed me down.
Thoughtcast,
sorry.
Yeah. If it was a Thoughtseize, Actually, I think it'd be fine.
I think it'd be... That's just excellent. Yeah, I think instead of casting the Thought Cast, should have cast Signal Pass.
Sure.
And Steel Overseer.
All right.
I can attack you for 0, but that doesn't really accomplish anything.
It doesn't.
So it's your go.
Might need the blocker. Who knows? Who knows what I could do? Okay,
I like
so
the
we're
things
gonna...
that Summoning Sickness holds you back from a turn 2.
Probably. Well, I mean, I have the Crimson Wisp, which gives haste.
That's true.
But it's not going to happen anyway. So we'll go with the Serum Visions. Draw a card. Scry 2. Now, that's exciting. However, I don't think it's exciting enough. Because what we really need is a mana dweeb.
Oh, he needs mana dweebs,
we're going to have to
really.
put both of those at the bottom.
Wow.
Yes. And then, I think... do I thin? Maybe I thin. Go for a Wooded Foothills and pass the turn.
Untap. This is very slow.
I know, yeah.
Both of us, though.
Well, you do have damage on the board. Not like 15 damage yet, but you do have damage. Quite a few damagens. 3 minutes. All right.
Now we
Pumpity
put one on
pump.
the counter. You get a counter. You get a counter.
Okay, Oprah.
You get a counter. Everyone gets a counter.
Everyone gets counters. So I'm actually quite pressured here, I would say.
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah.
So we attack for
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
He's not attacking. He's not.
Yeah.
So just
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Yeah.
5.
5.
Yes.
12. All right. So we're going to crack this end of turn. Go to 11. So yeah, Affinity definitely can have really fast starts, which is kind of why we paired it against this deck, honestly.
Yeah, and
of course, I mean, you can fill your main deck with a bunch of hate.
Yeah,
And 4 erases and gut shots and all that.
and
fun
that
stuff.
deck does run like 17 lands or something.
Yeah. And actually, that's another
So-
thing that we're not really showcasing because, we know the matchup going in. But normally you fill your sideboard full of, your important things, your win conditions. But then everything else is just like a bunch of, kind of one of silver bullets, as it were.
Yeah, to deal with each matchup.
To deal with everything. Okay. Draw. So, what do we do? This is actually rather tough. Gemstone Mine. Did not draw the mana dweeb that we wanted.
Gotta have a
see what's in
multicolored
here.
mana dweeb.
Yes.
There is such a thing.
So are we dead next turn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And we are at 11, which becomes a problem. So, well, let's...
Decisions.
Well, there really aren't that many, because I don't have anything going on.
I only have one card in hand, so I don't have to think.
Yeah.
That's what Affinity does.
Let's...
You have to think once. How do I get all of these on the board in the one turn? And then you just...
Let's Cerulean Wisp an Ornithopter to dig for answers. That is not an answer.
It's blue now.
It is blue now. Well, I think that's pretty much the game. But we will Cerulean Wisps the same Ornithopter. Actually, no. Let's do the other one. There's no harm.
They gotta be Blues
Draw card.
Brothers.
Okay.
See, now the Ornithopters are Blues
They are
Brothers.
blue. They are. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that would be the game because I drew nothing but lands off those. Yeah. So that is an example. Like this deck does have failure hands, and I kind of kept one. Like you're probably gonna always want a mulligan to having one of your 7 Jeskai Ascendancies, Glitter and Wish,
one of
being
your
the 4, and a Mana Dork, and a cantrip would be nice, but you are likely to draw a cantrip. So if you don't have a Mana Dork, the deck really doesn't do that much. But yeah, all right, game 3. So
you go first this time.
I do. It's pretty exciting news. So pretty borderline, but it gets the job done. Well, it might get the job done. We'll see.
I'll have to try and get all these on the field in one go.
Adjust the mat a little bit. All right. I'll lead with a Scalding Tarn. Crack it. And I'm just going to go straight to 17. Get a Stomping Ground and play a Noble Hierarch. Pass turn. Save a little time here.
So, Mox Opal.
Mm-hmm.
Ornithopter.
Mm-hmm.
Memnite.
Mm-hmm.
Is it 3 other? Or
No,
is it...
no.
Yeah, it's 3.
You're good.
Okay, that's what I thought. I'm like, wait, does this actually work? Springleaf Drum. Thought Cast. Cast it first turn every time. We get a Mutavault. And a Memnite.
Yep.
And a Vault Scourge going to 18.
All right. Pretty fast, one might say.
I knew these 2 probably weren't going on the field, so.
Yeah.
It's your go.
Okay.
Except I think the speed's not going to matter because you went first.
It might. I mean, if you get like a plating, I might be in some pretty dire straits.
Just the plating.
Okay.
Gotta beat them with their own cranium.
Actually, let's not go for this quite yet. Let's go for a Misty Rainforest instead.
Oh.
And that will fetch a... Where are you? Breeding Pool. 14.
You're gonna make the old lady breed with something?
Is she old? She an old lady? She protects the sacred groves from blight, drought, and the unbeholden.
It's an unbeholden.
I don't know, but it's capitalized. Proper noun. So, it's pretty important. So let's go for an Ascendancy.
Ascendancy.
And then we'll pass the turn. And hopefully not die.
Nah. I mean, you can hope, but...
Is it futile? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 potential damage, maybe. And that'd be like the worst case scenario. 3 cards? I don't know.
Tap Ornithopter with Springleaf.
Sure.
No, that's... do we live a turn? Probably not, but Master of Ethereum anyway.
Sure.
Attack for 4,
6.
5, 6. Go back up to 20.
Go to 8.
And to go.
All right. The critical turn. Okay. So we'll start. Blue, Cerulean Wisps. Loot.
Gotta get counters.
Discard a Wish. Untap. Draw a card. So I'm gonna skip the whole shenanigans and just go for it this time, I think. Yeah. Okay. Where's my mana here? Forgot a stage there.
Yeah.
So I did cast the Wisps.
Yeah, you did.
Let's make that a blue.
Okay. Well, you take that back, even though you forgot.
I did. Well, I mean, I technically. Yeah, you're right. I drew my card.
Nah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so
You know,
red.
on Magic Online, it like basically forces it down your throat. It's like, hey,
It does,
you gotta do
yeah,
this.
it does.
In Paper Magic, you're like, oh right, I have to remember things.
Red, green. Doesn't really matter. Manamorphose. Loot.
Metamorphose.
Discard. Untap.
I guess I don't really need
Add two
dice.
mana.
Well, you know.
Well, you gotta keep track of power too, potentially.
Yeah, that may change. So.
So we'll make 2 red from that, I believe. Okay. Just get this out of the way now. Play the land for the turn.
Gemstone Mine.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Blue. Wisps. Loot.
Just the wisp.
Just the wisps. Loot. We will discard that.
Discards another wisp with the wisp.
Untap. Make a let's make a white. Trigger. Draw. Did not forget it that time.
No.
Okay. So, we'll make blue. Cast a Treasure Cruise. Exiling these dupesters. Loot.
Conveniently.
Discard. Untap. Draw 3 cards. 2, 3. Alright.
It's just sorcery speed ancestral. It's pretty
No
bad.
big deal. Certainly no big deal. Let's make a green this time. Then we'll cast a Manamorphose. Loot. Discard. Untap. Did I take a mana away? I don't think I did.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Yes. Yeah, I
feel like
I
I'm going to sneeze, but it doesn't want to come.
Oh, that's too bad. Okay, 2 mana. Let's make a green and a blue.
Just don't want to sneeze into the mic, you know.
Sure. Okay. Oh, draw a card. Okay. Blue, visions, loot, discard, untap, draw card, scry 2.
Squy.
Top, bottom. And then we will blue, serum visions, loot, discard, untap, draw cards, scry 2. Top. Okay.
Top.
So if I do that,
You got some things and some
I
stuff.
do. We'll use a white, a blue, and a red. Cast another Jeskai Ascendancy. Loot. Discard. Untap. Not draw a card.
See, this
Sadly.
is where
Yes.
keeping track of 2 numbers is important.
Yes, it definitely is.
Now every spell doubles the power, but only increases storm count by 1.
This is truth.
Or, sorry, gives
speaking.
2 power, not double
Yes.
power.
Okay, I'm at 8.
Double
you have
the
2
amount.
cards in hand, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Would you like to see what they are?
I think I would. So we'll make a white. And we'll cast a probe for 2 life. So let me do my triggers first. So loot. I'm gonna go loot, untap. Loot. Discard. Loot. Discard. Untap. Make a blue. Untap. Now look at your hand. Okay. Bob and an Overseer.
See, I was going to cast Bob instead of the Master.
And draw a card. Mm-hmm.
But I didn't think I'd actually get to use Bob.
It's a good point. Yeah. Okay, we'll make...
Just going to leave my hand revealed.
Sure. We'll make a green and use a blue to cast a Manamorphose. Loot. That was kind of odd. Untap. Make a mana. Let's make a white. Untap. Add 2 mana of any color. Let's make a red, and we'll make a blue again.
Blah.
And draw a card off the Manamorphose.
Blah.
Bleu. All right, blue, Treasure Cruise. Get rid of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Loot. No, just what the doctor ordered. Discard. Loot. Discard. Untap. Make a mana. Let's make a blue mana. Untap. Draw 3 cards.
Just draw 3.
Just draw 3. Blue, Treasure Cruise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Loot. Discard. Discard. Untap. Make a mana. Untap. Draw 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. What are my counts at currently?
You have a 16, 17.
16,
and
17.
Storm count of 12.
Okay. Okay. So. And you're at 20 still?
I'm at
20.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I gained the 2 life.
Sure, sure.
And paid 2 life.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's go for blue. Cerulean Wisps. Loot.
The Wisps.
Loot. Untap. Make a white. Trigger. Add mana in response. Oh, sorry, I have to untap again. Add mana. And then this happens.
Yeah.
Add mana. It's kind of annoying to keep track of. And then this happens. Draw a card.
3 untaps.
Okay. It's currently at 18, huh? Well, let's put another one of these in just for good measure. Treasure Cruise. Loot. Discard. Loot.
You now have a 20,
Discard.
21.
That's pretty exciting.
I do have a blocker, though.
You do. Untap. Add a green. Sure, why not? Untap. Draw 3 cards. Also, be careful not to deck with this deck.
Yeah, you're getting kind of close.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's what happens when you cast 4 Treasure Cruises.
That is definitely what happens. So we're gonna... Should I have more fun, or should I just win the game?
Blood.
Well, let's have a... Storm count's 14 currently.
Yes.
How big is that, gentleman? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he's going to be 3 for sure if I kill all of these 4.
Yes.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have to point 9 at that. So let's go for a grape shot for 15. So I'm going to skip loot because I don't really need to do that anymore. And I think I'll just probably skip make mana too. Because why not?
Because why not?
So yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then how much more do I have? 3? 3 of you.
Ouch. Go to 17.
Go to 17. Okay.
And who needs a field?
No. And then we will... You know, let's just go straight to it. Glittering Wish. Exile that. Go get a Flesh Blood.
Flesh and blood.
And we will make a red mana. And a green mana. And we will cast a blood targeting you.
Targeting me.
Yes. For how big is it? How big? Big enough. Definitely big enough.
26.
26. All right. So yeah, that's kind of more common. Like the turn 2 win is not super common. Turn 3 is fairly likely, honestly. Just don't keep sketchy doopy hands.
Yeah.
So anyway, would you say that what do you think should be banned? Because I definitely think something should be done.
Treasure Cruise.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's better than Ancestral Visions,
which is also gone.
Which is also banned. So
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. I don't know if Jeskai Ascendancy itself should also be banned. I think the deck can probably function pretty well without the cruise.
Yeah,
the cruise is just
probably
like
still can,
puts
but
it
it'll
over the
probably
top.
make it less consistent. Maybe.
Yeah, it might.
You
I don't
may
know.
run the chance of burning
I don't
out
know.
mid combo.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Because Treasure Cruise really just keeps you completely fueled. I mean, it's a cruise full of treasure. A cruise that's full of treasure. That's what I meant to say. So anyway, yeah. Basically, something needs to be done because these are way too good.
At least
These
together.
Together, yeah.
Well, you don't even need the Jeskai Ascendancy to make church.
That's true.
Good.
And actually, you might see that in the near future because I think we're gonna try and experiment with this
In fairer decks.
until it's obviously gone in a little while. So so we'll do that.
See you next
Yeah.
time.